Hello everyone, welcome to Cover 2 TV. I'm Steve Hoard, that's Chris Pajak, that's Tom Jennings. It's the off season. We're thinking of things to talk about what we've decided to do as a collective trio. Each week for the next 6-7 weeks until something football-y happens again. We're going to basically just dedicate one show to a certain position in the NFL, and obviously it's the most important position in sport, so we're going to start with the quarterbacks. Just have general chat about various things to do with the position, various players, blah, blah, blah. You'll get the gist of it in a minute. So I've come up with four questions actually, Paxman-esque, just to grill you two guys on, all the quarterback position, so I hope you're ready for it. Early on a Tuesday morning, bright and early, Jenno, that's why he's half asleep.
Where's your cap?
Beard?
Beard's actually a better one. I tried to dye the white hair out, and it didn't work, it just dyed the rest of the beard, so I just thought, fuck, I'm shaving it all off.
Wow. Didn't expect that answer, did you?
No, but I'm glad I asked. So the mystery of Jenno's beard is revealed.
Yeah. What did you dye?
He cocked us just for men.
Just for men. Just for men. Does only works if your hair turns grey. If it turns white like mine has, doesn't work. So now you know.
Tip. There you go. Anyone who's into... I don't have this issue.
I don't think I'm going to have this issue. I think I'm going to be wearing a cap like Steve.
Very soon.
In a couple of years' time.
Yeah,
but
underneath...
I already wear one just because I'm going that way as well.
It's just these lights shine off me head when it's really sunny in here.
And I can't grow a beard, so I'm not going to have that problem down there. Like.
So there you go. Well, that's the hair section of the show done. I don't think we're very qualified to do, but we've done it anyway. Something else we're probably not qualified to do is talk about quarterback, but we're going to do that as well, Chris. So yeah, the first question I've got, it's one relating to older quarterbacks in the league. If anyone, obviously, cast your mind back to 2004 when you were a young buck roaming around the streets of Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Was you still in Liverpool by that time?
I was back.
You were been and gone. Jeez, you're old.
Yep.
So, obviously the draft, and we remember Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger all go in the same draft. 3 probable Hall of Famers. Two have won 2 Super Bowls each.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, unfortunately, is yet to get there. Going into this season, if you had to choose one of those to lead your team, so Eli, Ben or Phillip Rivers, who would you want?
Probably Ben.
Okay.
Well, over Phil Rivers, I think Phil Rivers is probably the better quarterback out of the 3 of them right now. Yeah. I think he's still got the arm strength. I think there's still question marks over Ben Roethlisberger's body more than his arm, to be fair. I think Eli Manning's arm's going. But the reason that I'd probably pick Ben Roethlisberger is that I believe that he is more of a winner than the other 2. I think, I don't think Phil Rivers will end up in the Hall of Fame. I don't think he should end up in the Hall of Fame because I don't think he's done enough.
Okay.
Whereas Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning absolutely will for their 2 rings each. I would hazard a guess that when it comes to crunch time, Ben Roethlisberger is going to get me over the line more than the other 2.
Yeah, Phil Rivers has had, unfortunately, time and time again, he's got close but no cigar, Jenno. So you're not going to pick Eli. Anyone who watches the show knows you hate Eli, so we can discount that. But so for you, it's Ben or Rivers. Who would you have?
I'll go for Ben because for over a stretch of about 5 or 6 games, Rivers will look the best, but people keep forgetting he keeps tailing off. He either starts really poor in the season or finishes really poor, and that's an issue. Whereas consistently over the season, Ben might start a bit slow, but by week 4 or 5, Ben's slinging it around the place, and for the last few years has been basically the 3rd or 4th best quarterback in the league. So I don't think it's really close in this argument. I think you're looking at the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers, they look loaded and they look ready to go and to give Rivers one last one, but I just don't trust in him over a 16-game season the way I trust Ben Roethlisberger.
I suppose Chris brought up the one point that you probably goes in Rivers' favour is the injury stuff. You can count on Ben missing 2 or 3 games maybe, or 2 games a season. Rivers played with a torn ACL, so that's probably the difference in that. If we're discounting Eli, and I think I'm with you on Eli to an extent. I do think his arm has gone. I still think he's very underrated at the line. I think he's I still think he's really good at that kind of stuff. He looks dead dozy, but I don't think he is. I just think he's
switched on.
He's just very calm and dozy at the same time. But I'm tempted to pick Rivers just for the injury stuff. But I think ultimately you've got to pick Roethlisberger, haven't you? Just again, he's a bit more mobile as well. He isn't as mobile as he used to be. But Rivers at the moment, Rivers is definitely like a statue. His arm is amazing. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers are a playoff team, but I've been saying that for 5 years, and then all the players get injured. And they've already had one injured, and the season literally was his first practice, and they've lost tight end. So, unanimous decision on Roethlisberger. Like I say, let us know in the comments.
I don't want to go for JP Lowe's.
Absolutely, yes. Where's he now? What's he doing?
God knows. Selling insurance.
Yeah. He works in the bank. Next one then, two new quarterbacks, two established quarterbacks. Chris changed teams this year. Alex Smith and Kirk Cousins. Obviously, you know very well Kirk Cousins is now with the Vikings. Alex Smith is in Washington. Disregarding team performance in terms of everything else that's around them, in terms of defense and stuff, as a quarterback, who do you think is going to have a more impressive season out of those two?
What, discounting the team who's going to have a better performance?
Discounting team records. So, for example, Washington's defense could really let them down, where the Vikings' defense could just carry them. But in terms of like quarterback play, for example, the 10th best quarterback in the league might not be on the 10th best team. You know, like Jameis Winston could be in the top 20 and his team are trash. Or, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But just as quarterback play goes...
I'm not going to be able to let my bias go on this one. Yeah, it is going to be Cousins for me. I like Alex Smith. I've always liked Alex Smith. You know, I thought it was a little bit harsh what happened with him and Kaepernick in San Francisco on their run, but ultimately I understood it. There are limitations to him as a quarterback in the NFL. I do think that Cousins can get to the big game and Cousins can win the big game, especially with the team that is around him. I'm not sure that Alex Smith can unless... Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna backtrack on that. I think if Alex Smith was playing for the Vikings, he'd do very well as well, and he could probably get to the big game. Him and Cousins both need great teams around them. Yeah. They're not going to be like an Aaron Rodgers who can take their team, regardless of talent, to the big game. But both of these guys are good at the line. They both got good arms. They both make the right type of throws. The question marks around Smith, does he make the brave throws? And sometimes I think that's the one thing that does let him down more than anything, whereas I do think Cousins is quite happy to squeeze a ball into a tight space. Yeah,
I suppose that's the flip. It's what you want when you go with that, Jenno. So Alex Smith has got his team to the playoffs consistently. Kirk Cousins hasn't. And I'd say the Chiefs and the Redskins weren't that dissimilar. Chiefs are probably a bit better, but not always that much difference. Injuries killed Washington last year for Kirk Cousins, but would you say, looking at obviously like you talk about the rosters and the Vikings are clearly more talented, but there's a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins. He's the $30 million quarterback. He's the guy who's meant to be the missing piece. He's the guy who, right, we didn't get there last year. We got, 2 games away or whatever. We had a meltdown. So we need to bring this guy in to get it. I feel like Alex Smith hasn't got none of that. He's almost like an afterthought. And yet Washington spent big money on him to get him in. He's an established quarterback. He's a first overall draft pick years and years ago ahead of Rodgers. I just wonder if Cousins has that bit more pressure on him to deliver and whether that affects him.
I don't think it will. I think anyone who's been...
You like him, don't you? You're a fan.
Anyone who's actually been watching Cousins, he's been playing borderline top 5 level. He was just on a Washington team that wasn't going anywhere. When you're on a run-of-the-mill team, even when you're a good quarterback, I think what you do gets underrated. A little bit like Matt Stafford in Detroit, because Detroit aren't threatening the Super Bowl, because Washington were never threatening the Super Bowl, whereas Kirk Cousins were putting up numbers consistently to wide receivers who would no one ever, they were garbage. And the defense that kept letting them down as well. I think everyone underrated. There's a reason why he got this money. I think people are trying to backtrack now, going, he's kind of bought himself a bill of goods with Kirk Cousins, and I don't think that's true. I think he's going to be excellent. I think he's going to be superb. I think the Vikings made the right choice. Whereas with Smith, I think you've just got a good quarterback, and I don't think he is going to be able to elevate anyone around him. And I believe you're still going to be thinking there's times when he looks good, but then when those 4th down throws where you need to throw long, he just doesn't do it. He just relies on his legs too much. And I think Washington as a team, where their team set up compared to the roster the Vikings have, Cousins is just set up more not to fail. He's got the weapons around him, Field and Diggs, to really put up some numbers that everyone's going to end up talking about. Cousins being an excellent sign.
You've got the backfield as well.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think Smith might end up with the better numbers in terms of, I don't think he'll throw as many interceptions. I think Cousins will be picked off more. I think Smith will run for more yards, that's obvious. Yeah. But I think ultimately Cousins will be the better player for that reason, is that Smith reminds me of a better Tyrod Taylor. And that, listen, you can win with that to an extent, but there's so many plays on the field that he just doesn't throw. And I don't mind my quarterback getting picked off twice if he makes 10 downfield throws, 2 picked off, 4 incomplete, and 4 get for long touchdowns over the course of 5, 6, 10 games or whatever. I think Smith might have more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, but actual quarterback play, I think that's probably where Cousins will get the edge.
Also, Cousins will have more wins.
I would be very surprised if he didn't. I think Washington have had a really good off-season, but I don't think they're there yet. I think the Vikings are arguably the best team in the league. I think you can make that case that they're at least in that discussion, I say they got to the title game, and then now you're adding the star running back, and you're adding potentially a star quarterback. There's no reason they shouldn't be looking at the Super Bowl, which is, you know, absolutely crazy, considering where they've come from. It does such a good job at building that team. Let's just hope my team can stop them. that's my wish.
Just going to injure Rodgers again, mate.
I mean, it's a winning plan. It's a winning plan. Listen, we're Liverpool fans. We've very much seen what happens when someone injures just start playing early on. It does not end well. Two mobile quarterbacks next I want to talk about. Dak Prescott and Marcos Mariota. I think it's fair to say, although Mariota took his team to the playoffs last year, I don't think he had his best year in compared to his other seasons. And Dak, in year two, looked a shadow of year one when he was, you know, sans Ezekiel Elliott. He was very much on his own. He didn't look that great. Who would you rather have? Just straight up, you're building a team. Who would you want? Mariota or Prescott?
Probably Prescott.
And why is that?
He's at a higher level.
You think so, yeah?
I do, yeah. And listen, over the second year it wasn't as good, but Mariota, for me, has always kind of flattered to the seas.
You're not a big fan, are you?
No,
You've never got it, have you?
No, and I never understood it. Like, I just don't feel like we've had those amazing plays that Dak Prescott can give you. And all right, he's had a down year, but I'll back him to come back stronger. You know, obviously there was mitigating circumstances last year why he wasn't probably as good as the year before, but I've just never really been a fan of Mariota. I just think he's flattered to deceive every time.
If you're asking me, I'll go next. I think Mariota might have a better season next year because I think he's got better team around him. I mean, Dallas have got no weapons. I mean, listen, no passing game weapons, I should say, because Elliott's unbelievable. But Mariota has got those, so again, he might have the better one. But if I'm building a team from scratch, I think and it's really hard, because I'm more of a Mariota fan than you, and I know Jenno is in that bracket as well. I think I'd go Prescott, but I'm going to listen to Jenno and see if he can persuade me one way or the other.
Well, as you say, I actually am going Mariota.
Yeah.
I think I prefer what he can do, but I think he's the one who's got stuck on a bad team in terms of the malarkey ball that was like just run with two running backs who can't run. It made no sense to anyone. I think he's been hindered, where I think now he's going to have a chance to really show something this year, or we're going to know he's nothing this year. So he's in like that kind of make or break year for me, Mariota. And I think what I have saw from when he's playing well, there's been some streaks there when he's just thrown touchdowns all over the field. He is excellent in the red zone, which is that's where you need your quarterback to be the best, in the red zone, and obviously with that running option as well.
He hasn't really, I don't know if you agree, and Chris, feel free to jump in, I don't think Mariota's ran as much as he should. I don't know if they're worried about the injuries and stuff, because he is only slight, and that's where Prescott is a big guy. I just think Mariota he can play in the pocket, but you're playing at 70% if you don't let him run. Like, there's very rarely design runs. There's a lot of scrambling, but there's not much in terms of design.
You can understand why teams decide not to let their running back, running quarterback run, because they are worried about how long he's going to be on the field for. But ultimately, if you are dampening that quarterback's effectiveness, I don't understand it. I would rather have my quarterback at 100% for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years than at 80% for 12. Yeah. Because I don't think a lot of these running quarterbacks aren't good pocket passes. Now, the difficulty is, it's hard to find the quarterback. So maybe they're looking at it and going, well, this guy could be all right for us for 12, 13, 14 years. I'd just rather have them at 100% for 8 years.
Yeah, I think a lot to do with it was a scheme thing. They like to play with the two running backs. And
you can't design
hand off. Yeah. No, put Mariota in the spread. Let him throw it about with he's got very good accuracy, and if it opens up, then let him shoot off. That's why a lot of people sat there and said you run an offense which doesn't suit the quarterback, which is why I think this year Tennessee should run an offense that actually suits the quarterback, because it doesn't make sense not to. It's like when we're hearing a lot of stuff in the off-season tropes, if this is going to be a more Dak-friendly offense, well, it's always a Dak-friendly offense because you build your offense around the QB, and I believe that's what Jason Garrett has done, whereas, again, malarkey ball just didn't make any sense to me, and I thought he was a terrible coach.
So we've got one for Mariota and one for Prescott.
So I think Jason Garrett, though, so...
I think I'm going to go Prescott, but the red zone stuff is the one that's give me pause. You know what, let's just go with Prescott, just because, if in doubt, I always go for the bigger fella. just the story of my life. The next one then I've got, and this is more of an interesting one in terms of which of the mid-range quarterbacks in the league, so anyone who you don't consider as a top 10 quarterback right now in your own mind, is most likely to do a Carson Wentz, where they just go from mid even Carson Wentz had a really poor end to his first season, and by the end of it he was probably the MVP. Now listen, that's a huge jump. I'm not expecting anyone to go that far, but in terms of someone who you think is a middling guy to go into where you can say, you know what, I'm putting him in my top 10 next year.
Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's fair because I don't think he's a middling guy at the moment.
He hasn't played.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it isn't. It's a fair answer. He hasn't played.
But I do feel like he's the guy that's going to be the breakout star this season in quarterbacks for the NFL. I think, you know, he's got everything around him that means he can go and do and be a success. And he's got that, what we were talking about before with Alex Smith, he's got that ability to just go down the field. Yes, he's going to get picked off sometimes, but he's going to make so many big plays in an already massive play offense. I think he's the one that we're going to be looking at and going, wow, that was a brilliant decision to sit on him for a year. He's learned his position, he's learned how to deal with this team, and he's got weapons all around him.
You got any?
I want to go Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know whether everyone sees him.
He's in my top 10 anyway, so
but
far.
I think we're just going to see another fantastic season. I think there's still a lot of people in the league who were like, maybe it was just them coming into a winnable situation where their QB play was so bad and they were a dead team, so it was all just garbage time. But no, I think he's going to absolutely shred the league and prove that what everyone has been saying, that there wasn't much drop-off between him and Tom Brady. He is going to be that good as long as he stays healthy.
I can't go with him because I did my top 10 list for my work today and he was already in it. And Matt Stafford was in it and he was another one I was thinking, but I put him in my 10 as well. So I'm going to go with Jameis Winston. I think it's time now where Jameis... I genuinely... I know you're not a fan. Neither you like him.
Well, I was thinking, John, when I seen your question, I was like, Jameis too, and I was like, I
can't see it.
I think Jameis is like so talented. I think he is absolutely so talented.
It's there though, mate.
That's the thing, and again, you're going to have to put up with the gunslinger, and you're going to have to put up with every now and then. But we kind of put up with that for Cam Newton to an extent, and then one year it just clicked, and he was the MVP, and he was the best player in the league, and he was a game away from being it all went to pot in that big game for him. When I look at Winston, physically he's got everything. He's got absolutely everything you need, and I agree. He does the stupid things, like when he's getting sacked and he tries to throw it away. And I don't know if you're ever going to completely get rid of that, but you can still mature. So if you watch early Brett Favre to late Brett Favre, and that's a great comparison. He was still gunslinging and he was throwing interceptions. The last pass of his Green Bay career was a horrendous interception that cost us the playoffs. But he reined it in a little bit. Matt Stafford has reined it in a bit. And I think Winston's is just as good. I think he's got the weapons. I think the Bucs are going to be a pretty good team, actually. They're in a really tough division, which might not help them. I think that's a very, very tough division, in fact.
They learn to run the ball more, stop giving it to him every play to throw, actually run the ball.
And I think they will. I think they went and invested in a running back. They got rid of Doug Martin finally, who was like the ultimate yo-yo player. He was on and off, on and off. Like, the only issue, again, he's got is that he's in a very good division with pretty good defences. So he's going to have to play the Saints twice, the Falcons twice, the Panthers twice. All have got good defences. But I've just got a feeling that he's the guy who might go from... I'm not going to say he's going to be MVP or the best, because that's a big jump. But I wouldn't be surprised if you're saying, like the season Derek Carr had a couple of seasons ago, it's like, bloody hell, and Derek Carr went quickly back down again, and people kind of forget about him. And I think you might get that out of Winston, where it's like, oh, you know, like he's floating around the 7-8 range maybe. And that's, I know that draft class you're not a huge fan of. You're yet to be convinced. Your face tells me the same, so maybe I'm on my own with that one. But I'm going to go with Jameis Winston as well.
Can I just put another shout for someone, because I was thinking about this? I've been very harsh on Mitch Trubisky about thinking he's not very good. But if there was a situation where you can go from showing me absolutely nothing, which is what he showed me, to show me something, I think getting rid of John Fox, who just wants to win the 3-0 every game, and bringing in Matt Nagy gives you a chance as a quarterback to really show your whole skill set.
And they've got loaded talent. They've loaded up with talent.
And then getting Allen Robinson, who I'm a big fan of. And then they got the other guy.
They got 2 running backs. They went and got Trey Burton. They have stacked the defence up as well. So
I think he's got the he could be one of those guys who, again, if you the ranked quarterbacks now, he'd probably be about 29th or something on my list.
Jenno's most improved
yeah.
prediction.
Yeah, Jenno's
is
most
Mitch
improved.
Trubisky.
Well, he's going to either show that I think whether he's garbage like I think he is, or whether he's actually a quarterback.
The issue we got, he's in another good division.
Yeah.
Whether the Packers defense is any good or not, we'll find out. The Vikings certainly are. The Lions got better, I think, and they just hired a guy who's been brought in to fix the defensive side, so who knows. I'm going to come up, and listen, you can't give the same answer twice. I'm going to give you 4 scenarios, and I need 1-word answers for both of them.
Okay.
So, you need to win an entire... I'm going to give you a season, a game, and a drive.
Okay.
And you can have...
And you can't give the same answer twice?
No. So who would you want for the whole season? Who would you want for one game with your life on the line? And who would you want in the 2-minute drill of a Super Bowl with the game on the line? Season first.
Fucking hell, mate.
I will go. I'll do mine. So 2-minute drill. Tom Brady. Not a doubt about that. Season. Give me Aaron Rodgers. I'm absolutely fine with that. I need to win one game with my life depending on it. Who's clutch? Other than the 2 we've mentioned. It might be bad because I know he blew it in the end, but I'm going to go for Drew Brees. I would be quite happy with my life being in Drew Brees' hands. I would be quite happy with a 2-minute drill. If you pick anyone other than Tom Brady, I think you're insane. And then for the season, just give me the best player.
I am going to go season Tom Brady.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that you die at the end of any of these if you lose any of them.
Yes.
He's got the best chance of winning it all.
Okay.
Every year.
Okay.
So I think that's the best answer for the season rather than the 2-minute drill, although he's the best in the 2-minute drill as well, by the way. If you have to win a game, I'm going to go...
There's a genuine Eli argument to be made, by the way, just to throw it out there.
There is.
I'm going to go... for the game. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers for the game.
Okay.
And for the 2-minute drill, Matt Stafford.
Yeah, very, very good. Good answer. Comebacks.
That's a good answer, Matt Stafford.
It is a very good answer. He's the king of the comeback, isn't he?
It's all happening. That's just like say Tom Brady for all of them.
Well, the answer is Tom Brady for all of them.
The answer is, yeah, the answer.
But I'm thinking, if you you lose any of them, well, the hardest one to win is the season, so Brady has to go there.
Yeah, maybe on the season you only have to come 10-6. Who knows? But
you only need some 10-6. You got Aaron Rodgers there. I'll go. So for a season, I'll go Aaron Rodgers. I think he'll get you through.
He's pretty good.
He's all right, you know.
He's definitely.
I think he'll be fine. Like
he's carried some guard.
He's carried good things about him.
He has carried. Trust me, he has carried some.
He's a secret in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers.
He has carried some garbage teams to some really big games. Lost them, but he got them there.
2 minutes ago, I'll go Tom Brady because I think that's the hardest thing to do in football. And that's what makes you the best quarterback. And then for a game, I'll go Roethlisberger. I think Roethlisberger is very good at winning big games.
He just loses so many random games.
You
know what I mean? When you want the Steelers to, you think the Steelers are going to win like 40-10, they get dicked by the Jaguars 44.
The Steelers have like 4 games a season where you go, what happened there?
Yeah, I'm not.
I couldn't do it.
So
I'm happy with Drew Brees.
When you say in a game, I'm assuming you mean someone who's boss. I'm not thinking you mean like the 0-16 Browns. 10-1.
Yeah.
Okay, and because we've all picked Rodgers in various ways, we're now not allowed to pick Rodgers. The Hail Mary. Because the answer is Rodgers in this one.
It is. It isn't always about big arm. It's about accuracy as well. Give me Matt Stafford.
Okay, yeah, you've got Matt Stafford.
Because you need Hail Mary. You need to be able to run around for a bit to get your guys open, and then you need to absolutely chuck it. We'll be talking like from his own half.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, the answer's Rodgers. If I can't have Rodgers, then it's Matt Stafford.
It's probably Matt Stafford, but look, we just saw Case Keenum do it. Let's go Case Keenum.
Case Keenum's got like, it was like 40 yards short.
He spotted the space. He knew that the defender was going to jump under the challenge. Case Keenum's the right answer. It's mine as well.
You know what might be the right answer? Josh Allen might be the right answer.
I was actually thinking...
It'll get to the end zone. Where about in the end zone it gets. It might even go past the end zone. But if I get there... A few years ago, the answer might have been Joe Flacco.
I was thinking 2012 Joe Flacco was probably the right answer, but not today.
Not this. So there you go. Then we want to know. Let us know in the comments below. You've got a Hail Mary for your life. You've got a 2-minute drill for your life. You've got a game for your life. You've got a season for your life. You can't pick the same guy twice. Who would you pick? Please let us know. That's our quarterback chat done. Enjoyed that, guys. Next week. We'll come back next week. We'll do wide receivers next week. The flashiest position in the NFL where I was looking at this yesterday, there's tons of talent. These answers are going to be so tough next week, because there's absolutely tons and tons of talent. So, like I say, if you've enjoyed the show, please give us a big thumbs up. It really helps. And subscribe to the channel and tell your friends. It helps, doesn't it?
Tell your friends. Yeah, it does help.
So, me, Chris and Tom, we'll be back next week on Cover 2 TV. Goodbye.